Social Security is a commonly discussed topic for a variety of reasons. More recently, though, Social Security is hitting headlines because you have Elon Musk calling it a Ponzi scheme.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
And Trump saying that he wants people to pay zero taxes on Social Security income.
Seniors should not pay taxes on Social Security.
So after all of this news, a client recently called me somewhat in a frenzy and asked the likelihood of Trump's plan to eliminate taxes on Social Security income being pushed through, which sparked the idea for this video. So in today's video, we'll explore the history of Social Security taxes, why it's such a big deal today, and what Trump's plan really means. And believe it or not, Social Security income has not always been taxed. So like every massive idea of potential legislation change, there are bumps along the way, and we're going to talk about those as well. So grab your coffee, relax, and let's dive into the exciting world of Social Security. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Brandon Clark. I'm a certified financial planner and a certified private wealth advisor. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see more content like this in the future. And as always, the opinions expressed in this channel are for informational purposes only, and they're not intended to provide any form of recommendation or advice. This video is intended to provide education about different financial planning topics and should not be considered as financial, legal, or tax advice. All right, so let's rewind the clock to 1935, when Social Security was first created by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Back then, the country was in the middle of the Great Depression, and FDR's New Deal was all about providing relief to struggling Americans. So, Social Security was born, and with that, the idea that American workers could contribute just a small portion of their wages during their careers, and in return, they'd receive benefits when they retired for the rest of their life. So, for nearly 50 years after Social Security's inception in 1935, benefits were not subject to federal income taxes whatsoever. But that all changed in 1983 when Congress passed the Social Security Amendments, which added several new rules to Social Security due to the program's solvency issues at the time. It accelerated payroll tax increases, it raised the full retirement age for benefits, and finally introduced taxation on benefits for higher income retirees, using something called a provisional income threshold. That meant that certain income earners would be subject to taxation on their income from Social Security. So if you earned above $25,000 for individuals and $32,000 for couples, a part of your benefits were taxed. But, and this is a big but, these thresholds were never adjusted for inflation, leading to a significant increase in the number of retirees paying taxes on their benefits over the years. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, that was probably a mistake on the government's part not to adjust for inflation. Or they may have been strategically doing this so that over time, more and more people would be forced to pay taxes on their Social Security benefits, which is exactly what's happening now. In other words, back in 1983, $25,000 worth of income was a lot of money to a lot of people and eliminated a lot of people from needing to pay taxes on Social Security income. In today's dollars, $25,000 is worth roughly $80,000 adjusted for inflation, and $34,000, which is for couples, would be worth about $108,000. So a pretty big difference. Now, the reason Social Security taxes are such a big topic today is because of a little thing called the aging population. As life expectancy goes up and up, more and more people are retiring and fewer workers are contributing into the fund. It's like having a pizza party, but instead of everyone bringing a slice to the party, only a few people show up and they're all eating the pizza themselves. The trust fund that helps keep Social Security running is projected to run dry by 2035 if nothing changes. And if nothing does change, that would be about a 20% reduction in benefits. Now, this is a big reason why so many people and so many politicians are starting to talk about Social Security more. They realize the impacts of not making that adjustment and how more and more people are being impacted by Social Security income and taxation on that income. Now, the silver lining is that this only applies for the most part to federal taxes, not state specific, since most states don't tax on Social Security income. As of today, only 9 states tax on the state level for Social Security income. Fortunately for California residents, which has the highest state income tax rates, you don't have to worry about state income tax on Social Security benefits. Regardless, though, people are understandably concerned. Will Social Security eventually be there when they retire? No one wants to feel like they're paying into a system that might not be there for them at the very end. And that's where the debate over reform comes into play. Now, let's dive into Donald Trump's idea to eliminate Social Security taxes. To be clear, this is a nonpartisan take. So Trump mentioned that he wants to fight and protect Social Security and Medicare, which includes no cuts and no changes to the full retirement age. He's also stated that he wants to eliminate taxes on Social Security income for retirees. A big reason he's saying that is because most people don't want to pay taxes twice on Social Security. The reason I'm saying that is because you are taxed when you earn income through payroll, which goes into the Social Security Trust Fund. This is also known as FICA taxes. So in a few of Trump's campaigns, he's proposed cutting the payroll tax altogether. That's right. No more 6.2% taken out of your paycheck if you're an employee and 12.4% total if you're an employer, if that law were to be passed. And so the second time you're eventually taxed is when you begin collecting benefits, also where you pay federal taxes like we've discussed earlier. Now, another reason why Trump is saying this is because almost 50% of people in America rely on Social Security for their expenses in retirement. Trump argued that cutting taxes would lead to economic growth and in turn, more disposable income, more spending, and ultimately more jobs. So it all sounds super simple, right? Well, here's where it starts to run into a little bit of a challenge. Let's talk about some of the downsides of Trump's plan. The major issue here is funding Social Security without those taxes. Without a constant stream of payroll taxes, where's the money going to come from to pay out benefits to the millions of retirees and even people on disability who depend on the system? This is like cutting out your lunch money and still expecting to get fed. This is also why Elon Musk called it a Ponzi scheme, though. Some strategists suggest that we could make up the shortfall by cutting other government programs or borrowing money, but that's also easier said than done. Cuts to other programs could hurt vulnerable populations, and borrowing more could increase the national debt that's already at astronomical levels. Neither of those solutions sounds like a winning formula for a stable economy. Plus, there's the concern about who gets hurt the most. Right now, Social Security taxes are a shared burden. Workers contribute, employers contribute, and together they help ensure benefits are paid out. If you eliminate the tax, you could shift the burden somewhere else, potentially creating new inequalities or even leading to more pressure on taxpayers in other areas. So let's not sugarcoat things. If Trump's plan were to move forward, we would face some serious challenges in making it work. First, let's talk logistics. The Social Security Administration pays out benefits to millions of Americans every single month, and without the tax revenue like we just discussed, you'd need to find a replacement. Would we have to rely on the general fund? How would that affect the rest of the government's budget? These are the questions no one really wants to answer because they could mean tough decisions ahead. Then there's the matter of public trust. If people see their Social Security benefits cut or they believe that the program is no longer secure, they might start to lose faith in the entire system. And let's face it, getting people to trust the system again is going to take a lot of work. Now, let's stay positive. Let's talk about what could work instead, because it's not all doom and gloom. Some experts have suggested alternatives like raising the income cap for Social Security taxes. Right now, people who make over $176,000 don't pay Social Security taxes on the extra money they earn. By lifting that cap, you could bring in more revenue without raising the tax rate for most workers. Sounds like a win-win. Other options include gradually increasing the tax rate on FICA rates, making it higher so that workers are feeling more of the impact versus retirees who begin collecting. Even thoughts around investing the Social Security Trust Fund into safer but higher returning assets is another option as well. Finally, which we've seen before in the 1980s, is raising the full retirement age. It used to be 65, then 66 years and several months, and now it's 67 years of age. This probably wouldn't impact those who are already collecting, but rather those that are nearing full retirement age or retirement and contemplating when to start collecting. We might not have all the answers yet, but there are plenty of ideas out there that could lead to a stronger, more secure system for the future. With all that being said, we know that any change that is made that has a benefit will then in turn likely create a negative implication as well. We just don't know what that is yet. So to sum it up, Donald Trump's idea of eliminating Social Security taxes sounds like it could be a big win for American workers, more money in your pocket, fewer taxes to worry about. But with anything, there are a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to funding the system without those taxes. While it's an interesting idea, the downsides and the logistics involved make it a pretty tough pill to swallow. So, what do you think? Do you think that eliminating Social Security taxes would work? Or do you think that there's a better way to fix the system? In the meantime, focus on your retirement plan and making sure that you're in excellent shape while in retirement, regardless of these events that are really out of your control. At the Clark Group Asset Management, our goal is to help you maximize your retirement and keep you retired throughout good and bad economic conditions. We run scenarios for our clients with potential reductions in Social Security over their retirement to see if that would impact their retirement plan at all. Essentially, what we're doing is we're planning for those worst case scenarios to make sure that you can live a comfortable retirement. If you're interested in learning further, you can schedule a time with our team using the link in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this in the future.